Today I'm going to talk about Twelfth Night. This time I'm actually in my lab, as you can see stuff behind me. In comparison to the back eye, I thought that it was a little bit harder to read and a little bit more confusing. I think a lot of the shortened words and the use of apostrophes kind of made it hard for me to follow, but I was at least able to get some of the general ideas and understand the main themes and stuff, so that was good. I also saw the jumping around of scenes a lot more than back eye. So there was a lot of different changes in scenes and a lot more characters also in this play than before. In terms of two values that are represented in this play, one I saw was disguise and identity. So by Shakespeare using Viola disguised as Caesarius, that started a whole love triangle between Orsino, who loved Olivia, and Olivia, who loved who she thought was Caesarius, but it was actually Viola, and then Viola loving Orsino. Also, there's a love aspect with Sebastian and Antonia, which is kind of a minor aspect, but I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Love is also a main theme of this play, kind of in a non-traditional way. Not a typical love story, but it also talks about the ups and downs of love in terms of rejection, Olivia rejecting Orsino, emotion, but I think something also important to note is if love is something that these characters are just obsessing about. Orsino loves Olivia for the majority of the play, but then quickly switches over to loving Viola at the end. So that kind of shows, I don't know if there's a happy ending, if everyone was truly happy, or if everyone just wanted love in the end. Something I was confused about was involving the joke that Maria played on Malvolio. She tells him in the note to go cross-gartered, and I was like, what does that mean? I kind of thought it meant something with like cross-dressing, because this kind of was a cross-dressing play with Viola cross-dressing as Caesarius, and so I looked it up because it was mentioned multiple times, and it has to do with just wearing their stockings that they would wear in like a crossed pattern on their legs, which I was kind of surprised to find out because people obviously don't do that anymore. In terms of gender, so gender is presented as a very blurred idea in this play. So by using Viola dressed up as a man, Caesarius, there was a huge plot twist that allowed men to fall in love with men, females to fall in love with females, and this idea of homosexuality, which was probably not talked about at this time, I think is interesting in terms of how gender was presented and how that led into confusion in the duel when Antonia thought Sebastian was kind of betraying him and that kind of stuff. The fact that men could only perform in these plays makes me think that this could have been a lot more confusing for the audience, because a man trying to portray Viola dressed up as a man is kind of like a double negative. I think it could have caused another layer of confusion in these plays back when they were performed with all men. My questions are, what is the significance of Antonio in the play, even though he's not mentioned that much? There's obviously, he has feelings for Sebastian, so what do you think his significance is? And then, how does dishonesty and lies affect love in Twelfth Night? So how does that lead to the love triangle and towards the eventual happy ending? So how do lies affect love at the end? All right.